Hey everyone! So if you're renting in Brampton right now, you definitely know the feeling, right? Writing that massive check every single month and just kind of wondering, is buying a home just a totally impossible fantasy? Well, let's jump right into this explainer because the data we're looking at today suggests home ownership might actually cost significantly less than you think. Let's dive into the numbers. Right now, the average rent for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment in Brampton sits anywhere from $2,200 to, well, easily over $3,000 a month. I mean, let that sink in for a second. That is a truly staggering amount of your hard-earned cash just going out the door permanently every single month. We're all feeling that squeeze, for sure. Seeing that sheer cost laid out like this really drives home the financial reality renters are facing today. But here's where the whole paradigm kind of starts to shift. It really comes down to this one simple, powerful contrast. When you rent, you are already paying a mortgage. Yep, you really are. It just happens to be your landlord's mortgage. You're literally building their wealth instead of your own. But with stabilizing mortgage rates and lenders offering far more flexible financing these days, a lot of buyers are waking up to a pretty surprising reality. Your potential monthly mortgage payment, it could actually be remarkably close to what you're already shelling out for rent. So that rent payment you're making right now might actually be the exact proof you need that you can handle a mortgage. But okay, what about those barriers to entry? Let's tackle the giant elephant in the room. Section 1, the 20% down myth. Okay, so the single biggest mental barrier holding folks back from even exploring their options is, without a doubt, the down payment. We naturally assume we need this perfect credit score, some massive six-figure income, and, huge cash reserves. We look at a Brampton home price, calculate 20% of that in our heads, see this completely overwhelming number, and just throw our hands up, right? Thinking, there is no way I'll ever save that while paying $3,000 a month in rent. So, the big question, do you actually need a 20% down payment to buy a home? 5%. Just 5%. That number right there completely shatters the biggest real estate myth out there. Depending on the specific property and, of course, the lending requirements, a ton of first-time buyers can actually get their foot in the door with just 5% down. The barrier to entry is literally nowhere near that 20% mountain that everyone assumes it is. You absolutely don't need a massive fortune saved up just to get started. And actually, there's another piece to this puzzle that makes hitting that 5% even more doable. Here is a super encouraging detail for you. Gifted down payments from family are entirely permitted. Getting a little help from your family is a completely valid, legitimate pathway to hitting that lower down payment mark. You aren't expected to figure this whole thing out completely in a vacuum. If you've got family willing to help you make that transition from renting to owning, the system is designed to allow that. It makes jumping from renter to owner so much more realistic. Section 2, first-time buyer advantages. So now that we've cleared that huge mental hurdle of the down payment, let's look at the specific financial toolkit that's out there for you right now. There are actual government programs specifically designed to help first-time buyers succeed. And one of the absolute most powerful tools available today is the First Home Savings Account, or FHSA. Basically, this is a tax-advantaged account made explicitly for first-time home buyers. It gives you tax-deductible contributions, which means you get a tax break right now when you put the money in. And get this, tax-free withdrawals when you take that money out for your first home purchase. It's a highly efficient engine designed to supercharge your savings. Just to put some concrete numbers to this, you can contribute up to $8,000 annually, hitting a lifetime maximum of $40,000. This gives you a really clear, actionable target, right? Starting today, you can begin channeling funds into this account, lowering your taxable income in the present while completely tax sheltering your future down payment. It is such an incredible advantage designed entirely around your situation as a new buyer. And honestly, the FHSA isn't even the only tool in the shed. There are a bunch of additional buyer programs designed to help you save thousands of dollars and fundamentally flip the math in your favor. You've got the first-time homebuyer tax credit, which puts money back in your pocket at tax time. Then there's the Ontario Land Transfer Tax Rebate, which directly cuts down your closing costs. Oh, and don't forget the Home Buyers Plan. This one gives you options to withdraw from your existing RRSPs to help fund your purchase. All these programs stack up brilliantly. Section 3, the true cost of waiting. Okay, so we've talked about the myths, and we've gone over the tools, but waiting to buy? That is not a neutral action. By waiting, you're essentially running on a treadmill against 3 really powerful forces: rising home prices, changing interest rates, and ever-increasing rents.
Think about it. As home prices go up, the amount you need to borrow and save for a down payment goes right up with them. As interest rates fluctuate, your overall borrowing power can actually shrink. And as rents inevitably climb, your day-to-day ability to save gets even harder. Waiting can end up being incredibly expensive. But jumping in earlier, that lets you get off the treadmill and actually start building your own equity sooner. So all of this forces us to step back and ask, is owning always more expensive than renting? Well, based on the stabilizing rates, the flexible financing, those 5% down options, and all the powerful tax programs we've explored in this explainer today, the answer is not necessarily. No, we really have to challenge those old assumptions because the math has significantly changed for so many people. I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought to wrap up today's explainer. What is your cost of waiting? Seriously, take a hard look at the rent you pay every month, look at the equity you aren't building, and honestly ask yourself that question. If you're ready to stop wondering and actually start exploring your real options, reach out. You can contact Manpreet Chohan, a realtor with Royal Canadian Realty at 437-990-2331. Empower yourself, get the hard facts for your specific situation, and take that next step. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.